reporting. Right now, I want to bring in my guest for this hour, appellate and trial attorney Matthew Barhoma. Matthew, great to see you again. And you know what? We often talk about, how juries love this whole, they've been weaned on this CSI shows, right? So they love CSI evidence. And sometimes you see strong cases without it and you question whether it's going to be enough. Well, this case has it all for whatever kind of jury you have. And today it was all about that CSI type evidence. It was all in full display.
Absolutely. And by the way, thank you for having me, Michael. I agree with you. There's a lot of information they get to see in this case. And, the prosecutor put it out right in the get, even in opening statements earlier in this case, saying, there's a lot of evidence and it's painstaking. And I'm going to take you through every step of it because I only get one shot at this. And he's absolutely right. He's taking them step by step through this journey, through this web of lies, essentially, and an immense amount of evidence to be able to show them this. And as you could hear from Chandler, they're intently listening. They're leaning over, they're understanding, they're absorbing, and I'm sure they have a lot of questions for this defendant. So I agree. They really get to sit back behind this investigation on this one.
The evidence is voluminous, as we said. There's tons of evidence. What do you make of the style they've gone about it and how they're presenting this case? What we're seeing a lot of, Matthew, are folks being recalled. So someone will testify about a specific point in the case, and then they're, asked, can they be excused? And the state will say, no, we're going to call them later. They'll be called back for more testimony. I think a couple have even been back 2 or 3 times. And the whole idea is that they're doing this in very chronological order, keeping it in sort of what I think are bite-sized pieces for this jury, and a ton of information coming across very clearly, and they're able to understand it, it seems.
I absolutely agree. And, I got to also, sympathize a little bit with the parties on this one because this case is quite complex, right? There's a web of lies. And it's like, how do you approach this from a chronological order? How do you put this evidence together? And you see just how voluminous it is. I mean, there is countless exhibits in this case, and there's countless pieces of information that the jury has to get through on this one. But ultimately, I think that they are doing a very good job in being able to present complex layers of evidence simultaneously and keeping a narrative running in the eyes of the jury.
I agree 100%. There's all these stories, as you said, the web of lies they had to clarify, all the different things he did, all the places he went. But none of it is confusing in my mind. As I think through this case, each part has been very clear and concise, and I understand their story completely, which I think bodes very well for the state. All right, Matthew, stand by. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, new details